Okay, so it's coming together really nicely. So now we've got to add a lot of the detail down underneath here. So we've got various plumbing and wiring to go on, okay? So next up on page 34, we're really working in this area up here and we're popping these in. So first of all, we've got Q4. Okay, so again, it's getting your orientations into this one to see exactly where it all goes. But luckily for us, we've got a small indentation there. So that's the little guy just here. Okay, so that just pushes in, no problem. Then we got this one here, which is K42. Okay, so that's literally just going to go in that slot, that slot, that slot. So again, there's a lot of this wiring on this one. And again, it's just a case of lining up holes. So some thin tweezers just to line everything up. And then once it does, you'll notice things tend to drop into place with no real problem. Okay, so that one's in like that. Then we're coming down in here and we've got this very long one, which is K37. Okay, removing the top and bottom parts from this one. Okay, so this little guy, make sure we got this around the right way even. Okay, no, we're upside down, that's better. Okay, so again, popping in that hole to start with, so we just help it out. And then that one in the top. And again, you might need just a drop of glue just to hold some of these down, but you know, you can basically see exactly how it's going to go. But anyway, that's those ones all down there, literally just like that. Then over here, we've got these as well, which is, this is J13, and we're moving up into this top section up here by the gun. So we just move the gun out of the way a minute. Okay, so this is gonna go on the left as you look at it. Again, needs a little bit of force just down in there. And then we've got J18. That one's going to go in the other side. And again, we're just making sure it's home properly, so it's all nice and flush. It can be a little bit problematic getting those in. Okay, so make sure they go in. All right. Then we've got these ones which are J13. And J18, and these are going to go in here. And again, they got little feet. They literally only go the one way. Okay, so that's one, and that's two. So there's little scoops and air vents next to it. Then we've got J45 and we've got J46, and these are the ones which are going to go down just in front. Okay, so we just, these little guys, a little bit fiddly just down in here at the top, and again making sure they push home. It does make a big difference. Don't just seat them on the top, make sure they're all the way in, and they just push around on the edge just like that. Okay, and as you can see them just down in here exactly how they go in. So that's those ones done just like that, so that's those in. Okay, we've already put these in, to be honest, because we're cheating and using the check sheet at the top here, but hey, whatever works, hey. So just down in here, what we've got to do is get Q11, Q10 and Q17. Okay, so we've turned it around, we've just got it down this way. So this section just down in here is this one over here. So that's the areas we're working in now, all right? So for the moment, we've just got Q9 going into Q10. And again, it can only go one way. And to be honest, it is a lovely little turbo. I think that's what that is. They're using a lot of turbos on this. Okay, and then down in here, we've got Q11. So actually, we can probably put Q11 in first. Okay, that sits in there. And we've got this one here, which is Q17. This is this box area. So that's literally going to go in at the top. And then we've got this one here, which is the one we just made up, with the major part being Q12. Okay, and that all sits on just like that. Very, very nice. Okay, then we can put in, which one have we got? I don't suppose it makes too much difference because they look identical. But just down in here, we've actually got K48, which is these two just down in here. So we've actually got L2 and K48. So L2 we can probably just pop in as being the first one because that's quite straightforward. So again, nicely keyed, only goes one way. Okay, that's in there. And then we've got these two, which is basically going in with K47 and K48, literally they're just a mirror of each other, and it's just a little bit more plumbing for going on down the sides. Okay. There's the other side, that's what we wanted. Left to right. There we go. Okay, so that's both of those in, just down in here, like that. Then we got these long ones, which is K52, which is going to go, I'm going to make sure it is round the right way, it's this way. So, again, tiny little tab hole in the top. Put it the way around. Tiny little tab hole in the top. Drop it in that one first, then in the others. And again, just making sure that's all in and flush, and on the other side. So again, just drop it down into that hole first, then we can bring it across. Make sure it's in that hole. Again, probably need a tiny little bit of glue on that one. Okay, so Leicester, we've just got K65 to go in. I don't think I've got that one out yet. So K65 is K65 is this little guy. Again, very small parts, but very small gates. So it does make it quite easy to remove them. Okay, so this is the guy which is just going to sit in here. Nudge just to get him to go in. There we go. Bit of a push and it just drops in and clicks. Okay, so that's that section all in there now, which basically completes all of this one just down on here. So what we can do now is just turn our attention. We've already put all of these in, so you don't have to worry about that. So what we're going to do is just going to pop these together down this back end area so we can finish off all this plumbing work just down here. So what I'm going to do is get those parts all cut off and we'll get them installed. Okay, so now we can work on this back end and obviously with the engine nozzles and things like that. So basically down here on page 36, we're down at the bottom half. So we've got this part here, which is, I've got to remember what it is now, which is Q13, and it's a mirror. So I've already done one half, if you're wondering. I've done this one down in here because they are literally just a mirror of each other. So start off with, we got Q27. This is literally just a job of pushing it in the hole at the rear. So that's in there like that. This little guy, we're just going to pop him together. So again, we've just got this thing. It just sits in there literally just like that. Then we've got this small piece which is Q13, which is these, is just going to go on the end. So that little guy just literally pops in there. Okay, so with that one in, what we'll do, we'll flip over and show it onto here because otherwise it gets a little bit confusing. But this one then just comes in and it pushes in the back and sits there just like that. Okay, then we've actually got just remember which way around this is now. Sorry, we're slightly getting ahead. We've got this one down in here, which is W7, and it is important to put these in order because otherwise it all goes to pot. So we've got like, to drive sprocket off a tank, that one goes in there. Then we got this little guy, okay, which is over here, okay, which is K7. Again, I'm doing them slightly out of order, but you'll get the idea. There's no real right and wrong to this, okay. So that just fits over that little cog just down in there like that. Okay, so with that in, okay, make sure it's pushed down firmly. Okay, and then you've basically got this one which is Q16, and obviously if it's a mirror to the other side, so you just slot it into the rear. There's a slot at the rear and down, and that holds that all into position just down here at the back. Then if we just pop back, you've got this one which is K63, okay, and if you look just down in there, there's a little slot and it can only go literally one way in there. Again, it's a little bit fiddly just to get it in, so we'll just use a pair of tweezers just to pop this in. Again, having just fought with the other side, it's a bit fiddly just to get down in here, so bear with it, don't force it, because again it's one of these weird ones. Once it starts, it's fine, it's just getting it started like there. Once it's in, you're in and you're good to go. Alright, so that's those just at the back, literally just like that, very straightforward. Okay, then we can flip over, put it back on track. So we've done these two at the top, okay, then we got this one just down here at the bottom which is K53, okay, and it's curved and it only basically goes one way as well. Alright, so that little guy is just keyed and it just pops in the end here. And don't be afraid to give it a good old nudge to get those in sitting nicely. Again, feels a little bit loose, might need to come in with something on there. Okay, next thing up, we're dropping down, we're working into this area, which is this part that's going to run around the back here. So down in here, these are just a case of 2 and 3s go together to make these up. So there's these little guys just now like this, and we just squidge them together like so. Then we've got part 1, which is 01, which is this big area just around the back, and then these just push into the hole, literally just like that. Okay, you've got your tabs all the way around here which are going to coincide with the tabs on here. Okay, and then hopefully, if we've lined this all up correctly, these just come in and then you click and make sure they are all the way in and clicked. If they're not clicked, it sits a bit proud, and then that puts that all the way in the back. Then it's a case of popping all of these in, which we've got lots and lots and lots. These are the little blades which actually look like bulldozer blades or something, and they literally are just going to come in and they click in. Now there is some painting going to be going on with these, and again the nice thing with this is these are on little spring loaded tabs, so they'll be very, very easy just to pop off. So for the moment we're just going to put them all in, but what we'll do is the ones which are going to be different colours and various things like that, we will literally just pop off and we'll manoeuvre them out the way whilst we're doing painting. Okay. And then again, these little squares all the way around here, they just fit into that as well, which holds them all nicely in. So you've got these little holes here, that's what these little guys will be pushing into. And the nice thing is there is no top and bottom, left and right, so they're all identical. Okay, and the last one just goes down in the middle, like that. Okay, again, make sure they're all squeezed down. And again, we'll pop those off and out of the way as is required, but that adds that bit of detail down the back there. Then we're just down into here, which is this square section at the back. So we've got Q30 and Q31. Okay, they literally are just going to come along and go like Lego underneath. So that's that one on. Then we've got 2 sides for this one. And again, hopefully, I think they only literally go on the one way. Okay, so we've got, just making sure. So it is round that way with the blades and all in. So that's that one. I'm just checking just to make sure we're all okay. So that's both of those in, literally like that. Then we've got these little guys here, which are just 2 little fillets are just going to come in the side and they're going to pop just down in here. Again, very difficult to get them in there because we don't want to break the part in the process, and already you can see I've bent it a little bit. So what we'll do, I'll just grab a pair of tweezers. That's one in. Two. Okay, so with both of those in just like that, this piece comes along, and then obviously you've got the two holes just down in the back here, and then hopefully that fits in off the top. And these little guys do not do what I've just done there, and they've bent slightly back. We'll just straighten him out. Here he goes. He's in. And he's in, both of those. Last part up is K58, which is just going to be the little ladder part, which I assume is a ladder. And again, just going to sit that in the back, and that lines up on here. So we've got this gorgeously detailed area just down here at the back now, looking pretty much spot on, exactly what we wanted. Okay, so that's that section all taken care of, looking very much the part now. And again, it's this thing, you've got lovely detail, and then you come along and you add even more and more and more, and that's the fantastic thing about this kit going right the way through. Okay, next up for this one, we're going to be working on the landing legs. Okay, so working on the gear, it's pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory with this one. So we've got the front ones done here, so we're just working on the rears here. So it literally is just a case of grabbing your parts and putting them in. Okay, so we've just got these on each other side. They're keyed. You might notice got tiny little tabs on these ones, so they're very, very straightforward. You can't really get it wrong because they literally only go one way. Okay, so you've got the one with the claw is going to be the rear one, which doesn't have the tabs. And to be honest, it's the only bit of cleanup I've got to do on these. Just on these little areas, just on those ones, couldn't get the sanding stick just to go in there. Okay, so these little ones here with the claws just pop in and sit through. The feet pads come right through the bottom, nice and straightforward. Okay, and again they literally just click in, very nice indeed. Okay, with those done, and then literally it's just a case of grabbing these little plates on the top. You've got a bigger and a smaller one. Easiest way is to push it down. If it doesn't quite go, just rotate it 180 degrees and you'll find it will go on. So you just rotate it until they go in and click down. Okay, then for the twin legs at the back, as I say, in the back they're keyed. You get a tab and a T-shape. So the T-shape one is going to be the rear one in this case. Okay, they literally just come in and push up, and then you got the front one, in this case is the R shape, that just goes in, and then they just overlock just down here at the back, and then these little guys just come in and it locks it all together. Again, clever little way of doing it. Place it down just to make sure you're happy and it's all good. We can do just the same on this one. Okay, so again, it's got the little R shape, so you can't even get these round the wrong way, which is the clever thing to this. Okay, so they just come in, clip in, and just like that. Then we've got the doors. So again, you'll notice with these doors, they only literally go one way. You can't actually get them round the wrong way. So they just go in and go to the side. You might notice there's a hole at the top on here. This is so the LED will shine down through the bottom. Okay, now again, the beautiful thing with this is if you're doing it in flight, it doesn't matter, because literally, there we go, just so your hole lines up with the hole, you know it's the right way around. These are plug-in units, and again, there's no glue involved. So the great thing with these things just come along here, and then in the back, they will just come through, and they literally will slot in the gap. It says, round the wrong way. That's why it doesn't go, because it's round the wrong way. Okay, that just goes in like that. That one just pushes in the back. Okay, and now, for the first time, we can flip this guy over, because this power pack is rattling around the back. And that actually completes the underside of the build on this one. So again, we've already done quite a bit at the front. We just got this rear at the back, and to be honest with you, it's a lot of mirroring, so we won't need to show you again. For instance, that bladed area at the back for the nozzles, that doesn't show us. It's talking about the electronics down in here and how to seat it in. So it is a case of just making sure you've got this wiring somewhat tucked out of the way and all the rest of it in here. Remember how we did it now? It's somewhere around like this way. And then we will literally just gonna get this to come in. And I can't remember which way it even goes up. It goes that way. That's the way. Okay, so it literally just comes in and it sits in there. This wiring all fits in at the back, and then what happens is there'll be a plate that will go onto there. So recheck all of that, make sure your wiring's all good again before you go too far ahead. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work on these top areas up here next, adding final details onto these ones, and really just working around the top areas as we make our way through on this one. And a lot of it, as we said, is repeated. So for instance, we don't need to show this gun one for the top area. For the actual defense guns, we don't need to show that. And then a little bit further on, obviously we've got the rear end around the plating. Okay, this area down here is exactly as you did it before. So if you wanted to, you could just speed that up a little bit. So what we're going to do, get this cleaned up, get some more parts on the go, get it all together, and then we can carry on. Okay, so next up is a lot of multiple parts really doing the same thing. So what we can actually do is obviously do one, and then I'll do another one off camera, as you said before. So what we're going to do is working on this top section up here. So as you can see down at the top here, first thing it's talking about is using these parts. We've already put them in, so it's W21 and S1. Okay, now you could use the photo etch, which to be honest, we have it right here. Okay, so this is the photo etch option, but really, for what you're going to gain and then the hassle of it, I've just used the plastic parts because like we said on the collar of this thing, it's really very nice. I don't really see the necessity for it. You can see a little bit of light through there. We're going to put a wash over it. I don't think it really matter. Anyway, so that's that one on just like that. So we've skipped that bit, and then this literally is going to just fall on top of here. Just making sure we got them around the right way. So it's that way. Okay. So that pushes on, and then we got the side parts here, which is basically S32. Okay. Okay, and it is that thing like we found on the other side. Put the top one in first, then put the other ones, because they sort of push up and in. Okay, so it's a better way of doing it. Okay, so you sort of just pull them in, and then they sort of all click in. Without it, you end up with a big gap. So just make sure it's properly in there. You'll know when it is because everything sort of just disappears and it all goes together. But without it, you notice a big old gap going right the way around it. Okay, so that's that one done. It talks about small parts down in here. Down in this one for L and Ks and things like that, to be honest, we've already done it. So this is what we're looking at, is these two at the top, these two at the bottom. Again, it'd be exactly the same on the other side. Those are already in. This is the bit it's actually talking about. It's quite straightforward. Anyway, over to this one. So over here, starting at the rear part, we've got this little guy, which is just going to all go in here. Okay, so it's got a big gap and a little gap, and that's just going to fit right over the top of that, which is put that little vent on. Okay, then we've got another turbo-y looking part, and again, it has only got one way this will go in, so that sits in just down at the bottom there, just like that. Okay, and then working our way forward, we've got S2 and sorry, which ones are these two? Just making sure we have got them right there the right way. Okay, which is that one there and this one. So it's S27 and S17. So both of those fit in there just like that. Okay, then we've got what's clearly, to be honest, it looks like another Crusader's top part, which we saw somewhere else on here, which I can't remember where it was now. Perhaps it's the one down at the bottom, but it looks very similar to that one. Okay, so that one is going to go in. Again, only goes one way. You've got two little feet and one big one. So that clips on at the back, at the top here, just like that. Then we've got this guy. Okay, all right, so that's pretty straightforward. Only goes on one way. That's going to sit in at the top here. And I'm hoping that's going to fit in a bit better. If not, it's going to need a little bit of glue. Okay, and then we've got S223 and S224. Again, these only go one way. So if you look, that one won't go because it's the wrong side, and then it goes this way. This is the beautiful thing with Bandai. And like we were talking, I was talking to a member at a recent show, and we were discussing, I was saying, Bandai's one up from Lego It is so much fun to work with, because if it doesn't fit, it's something you've got wrong or slightly round the wrong way. So that's those on. And then last up here, we've got 29, which is just going to go in this little one here. And again, like the others, it's keyed. It physically only goes one way. Once it is in, if I can get it in even. There we go. We push that in at the top, and that completes this area. Double thing, you can check it just here just to make sure you've got all the ones in. That one's in, that's fine, no problem at all. And then basically it goes on and talks about doing the other side, which I'll do off camera because it's basically a mirror of this one. It's actually not a total mirror because it hasn't got as many bits on here, but you get the gist of it. So we'll get that one done over there onto the other side, put that one in, and I'll pop this little bits of piping and various things on the top of it so we're all up to speed. Then we can come back and start to just double check all of these parts. The gun is exactly the same as it is on the underside, this part here, so that one will go in exactly the same as we did for the underside one, so we can do that. And then what we can do is work on the actual radome, or radish I should say, at the top here as well, and we can get that one installed.